I really like the Gentle and Classical curriculum, but I really wasn't able to justify the cost of all the pretty print materials in that package that you could buy. Luckily, there is a digital only package you can buy and get everything, but then you get the files and you still have to determine what is it that you're going to print at home and what do you want to just keep digital format. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I've determined what I use for digital only usage and what I'm actually printing. My name is Coral from the Relatable Homeschool Mom. I'm going to go ahead and show my iPad screen and talk through this process. To determine what you will want to print or not print, you will want to export all of your files and resources into a files folder. You can check my link below. I will link how to get started with the curriculum where I go through my process there. But I have my Gentle and Classical Preschool file right here on my iPad. And so I'm going to go through each of these sections and talk about what I'm going to print and not print. This first section here is just a start here guide. This is something that you can just read in order to know about the program, but you really don't need to print that. Next is this art and music section. So this is the art and music pack that you are given. And there are 46 pages that are all very much color art and music documents. A lot of which are the art that you're going over. So the first several weeks you're going over Van Gogh with your child. And so usually you will look at one piece of artwork every other week and focus on it based on what it says to do in this pack in the earlier sections. So for me, I am not going to print these. This is going to be a personal decision, but for me, I really don't have a lot of just good ink or a good ink printer. So it's not worth the price for me to print all of that. So I have experience using this very, very similar process with my son in the primer program. And one of the things I did with him is I just said, hey, let's look at this on the tablet right here on the file and let's look through some of the artwork from the artist. And so I handed him the tablet, but what happened was this little, let me pull it up, this little auto rotation thing was not locked. So let me show you here. Let me click out of it. So I would hand him the tablet and he would look at it and he would want to engage with it, and then it would auto rotate on him as he was looking at it, and it was making it very difficult to utilize. So the first tip at the very least is if you're going to just use the file as it is, at least turn off the auto rotate or lock it so that it's easier to utilize. What I'm going to do though with this program, because I've learned that it's still difficult when you hand the piece of artwork. So say we're going over this artwork and you hand it to the child. At least in my experience, my son still wanted to continue scrolling and look at everything else, and he didn't want to just focus on the one piece of artwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create individual files for each artwork. And you do this by clicking on this square with a arrow and press print. From there, you would scroll down to see what page it is that you want to make a file. So for me, it's page 7. The other thing I'm going to do and press cancel really quick is I'm going to copy and paste the name of the painting just because I do not have these memorized. I probably will. This is Cafe Terrace at Night. So command copy, it's Van Gogh. So let me press this again. Press print. I'm going to go to range. I already know it's page 7. I don't need to look at it again. To page 7. Then I press this arrow with a square again. I press save to files. It saves automatically as saving right here in the art and music section. And then I'm going to rename it Van Gogh. Command paste, Cafe Terrace at Night, and then I'm going to press save. And then I'm going to do it for every single painting. That way I just don't have to deal with unnecessary scrolling when we want to just focus on one artwork at a time. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit to the music section. There is not as much to print, so it's only from pages 35 onward, and a lot of these are really blank. So You're not really using ink here. So 35 on to 46 every other page is for the music section. And so this is not very much. So I will actually print all of the music section. This is a storyboard. And in my experience, my kids have a lot of fun with these storyboard pieces. You laminate the story pieces and the story backgrounds, and they can practice retelling and just playing with the pieces and interacting with the pieces from the story that they're reading. And it's an entire it's one story for the entire 26 weeks of the preschool curriculum, so it's really not that much. In contrast, in the primer program, it's every single week they have a different storyboard and story pieces, which is a lot more. This is really not that much, so to me, I'll go ahead and just print this, and I'll probably even print the background as well and laminate it. Then you have the music flashcards that come with it, or sorry, the instrument flashcards. And so again, it's really only looks like one page. So really not that much, and I'll probably print those and laminate it, and we can practice naming the different instruments. I'm gonna go back. I have a separate file here for the bonuses. This is really cool if you're using the Gentle and Classical Nature alongside this program. And so, or even if you're using it at a later time, these are the nature statements for the preschool child. So they're a little bit simpler statements for them. So it's for both the pre-level 1 and Nature Volume 2. I just have it in a separate file because I'm not using that right now, but I would print those out if I was using it. The book list is just a resource that tells you all the books that you need. So again, I would just read that. I wouldn't necessarily print it out. The character songs. I put a separate file for our character songs, and it's very easy to just, obviously you can't print out music. So pretty easy to just...
I am attentive, I listen with my eyes, my ears, and my heart.
Okay, definitely easy to just pull that up on your iPad and listen to that song. The flashcards, I love these flashcards. Upper and lowercase vintage cards are here. So if you want to focus on uppercase and lowercase at the same time, you have these. And then we have the numbers are here for flashcards, the colors. And then you have the flashcards just for uppercase. So I'm not entirely sure. I'll definitely print out, I think, the numbers because I don't have any number flashcards. I do have nothing very exciting like this, but just basic flashcards for letters. My daughter already knows her colors, so I probably won't print out the colors. I may or may not do the shapes, just because I feel like there's a lot of other ways to learn shapes. And so I'll probably pass on that, but the flashcards are absolutely beautiful. So I'll have to make a decision about that just because they are so pretty. The memory statements. So for me, I am going to be printing out all of the ones that have an actual true recitation or memory work in it. So like the I see with my eyes, I hear with my ears. I'll probably do these. I think this will be really great for my daughter to practice saying these statements. I do not use the memory statement board that they recommend. And so I won't, for example, use these headers or print these out because I'm not printing them out and making a memory statement board. We just sit on the couch, and while we're doing our readings, I also pull out the statements that we're practicing with and just practice saying them. They hold them while we read the stories and look at the pictures. So I print them out, laminate them, cut them. And so I will just do the ones that have statements. So the All About Me, the Catechism, Manners and Hygiene, Math, Nursery Rhymes, and Scripture. All of those are great things to practice. The Wonder Tale, again, these are really beautiful, but they don't really have anything necessarily to say, besides the name of the book, I guess, but we'll go over that with the actual book. So I'm not too worried about them just looking at the pictures and repeating the title. We'll talk about that with the book. Now, the morning binder, the way I'm going to do this is I will be printing out a lot of the pages in here for my daughter. I will just click on this little square with the arrow, press print, and then I will just uncheck the pages that I don't want. So I'll just uncheck them, so I don't need the explanation pages, for example, about how to use the binder. This is really going to be personal preference on what you want to focus on. I'm definitely going to do the build it, write it, find it with the letters. I think that's super fun. And then I love at the bottom here the number pages. So, she focuses on the gentle and classical. Oops, she focuses on the Math with Confidence series for numbers, and this is how they use the 10 frame, and they get to practice with a number and then filling in the 10 frame. So I think these are great with number practice for my daughter, so we'll do those. But again, the shapes and the colors pages, I'll probably uncheck those. Once I've unchecked all the ones that I want, I'll just simply choose my printer, and then I will print all the pages that we'll be using. The preschool handicraft, I love this guide to have handicraft ideas for every single book. I don't know if we will do all of them. I'm not very handy myself, but there's just some really cute ideas, and I will not print this out. I will just reference the digital version and determine, what supplies I need and everything. They do have the grids here for every week in this section, and so, again, to me, it's easier to just use the digital, or if you like the grids, maybe you would want to print out just the grids, but that's, again, just really going to be preference. I won't be printing any of this out. I will just go to the digital file and I will look at it. This is the teacher's guide. This is what I use. I don't really use her grids. I actually bought a couple of them, regretted it because I didn't use it. The other programs don't come with the grids. You have to buy it separately. So in another video, I'll link it below, I show how to remove all of this teacher's guide section, and then how to just save just the lesson plan itself. This is personally what I use. I just reference it in the file. I do not print it out or anything. And then the supply lift, again, this is just another reference guide, so this is something that can be printed. Okay. And that's it.